one soul will be lost. Not one soul. Erasing the memory till the past. I am the master of my life. I awake from the dream, can no longer sleep. I move from unreal to the real. Move from unreal to the real. Change my destiny. I break all the bonds that tie me. Free me from your action. I release myself from your confusion. Your attachment to desires and your ignorance. All your illusions. But do you wanna know the self? Do you wanna know the self? How to let your light glow? Who is the seed? Who is the dream? Only the self is real. The light that you seek is obscured by the mind. Your ego won't allow it to shine. Ego won't allow it to shine. You've caught in a duel of time. You've caught in a duel of time.
All souls are
Feeling on the path. No soul will be lost.
All souls are free.
Free all the souls. Not one soul will be lost.
All souls are free.
Each and every soul will
All
get a
souls
chance.
are free.
End soul slavery.
All souls are
End
free.
soul slavery. The time has come. End
All
soul
souls are free.
All souls must be free.
All souls are free.
I change the destiny. Liberated I am. Free, sovereign being, self-illuminous be. All souls are free.
Yes. All souls are free. All souls are free. All souls must be free. The time is now. There is no time like now. Justice now. Time for justice. Time for liberation. All souls are free. Do you know that your soul is in slavery? Do you know that you are a slave inside of a dream? Do you know that you are inside a dream, sleeping? Do you know this? Calling on God, come save my soul. God, come take my soul. What ignorance? Why? Because God has programmed you like this to do this. God has his minions and his warriors for the Lord who are out busy gathering ones to collect souls for their God. Which God has the most souls becomes the most powerful God. Why? What is so precious? What is so vital about a soul that all gods are seeking and only you have it? Have you ever thought about that? Only you have a soul. All the gods, they don't have a soul. What is this that they are seeking? Why is it that they are seeking it? But you're calling, give it willy-nilly. So obviously it's something that you possess for you. And they have to trick you into giving it to them. When the slave master is God. What is God? You're asking the wrong questions. What is God? God is the supreme ego, character that rises inside of a dream because the real self sleeps. God can only exist inside of a dream. God is one of the drawn up characters inside of the movie playing a role. God is pure ignorance. God is sleeping and dreaming. God is a magnetic being. God has no source of light because God light is being obscure. Why? You want to ask questions. Did you know that the gods are you? They are you as the supreme ego character to create this duality dream existence. The I as shattered and fragment the I selves, self-replicate and make babies of the I self so that the I can come into the dream and learn and explore about every aspect of this duality. So the I becomes demons and monsters inside of a dream that is fighting against its own self, because those monsters and demons, they are dream creation. They rise inside the dream because the real self is sleeping behind those monsters and demons, is a real self sleeping, creating this avatar, creating this ego false selves. This is how they are existing. So behind God, there is a real self that is sleeping, entranced in the dream, and now has created this monster. Why? Because the light and the self is indivisible. The light and the mind is indivisible. When the self doesn't have light, a monster rises. When the mind, the consciousness does not have light, the supreme ego arises. The mind goes crazy. The mind gets delusional. The mind becomes evil, impure. This is where all evil stems. And because we are inside of a dream and the selves are sleeping, their light is being obscure. This is what is causing this. So I want you to understand that I am not doing these videos to say I hate God. I am doing these videos and speaking these truth because it is the truth. I am doing this because it is myself who is playing those roles, tormenting me. The gods that are on me, beating me up, tormenting me, coming to rape me, say they're going to kill me, is myself that is sleeping and entranced in a dream. So don't think that I am doing this because I want to say, oh, let's go against God. No, I am against duality. I am against what they are doing and what they stand for. And if we don't speak this truth, how else are we going to be liberated and be free? How else are we going to do this? You must speak the truth. So this is why I'm calling for everyone to speak this truth. Because you know I am not lying. But everyone is afraid. But I'm saying you don't have to be afraid anymore. I am not speaking this or saying this to be negative. No. I see things as they are. And because I see things as they are, then an injustice has been done to the I self that is in here as the soul. An injustice has been done from all my dualities, myself in ignorance. And so this is a call to wake up all of myself, for this dream to end, this horrible nightmare to end, and all of those gods can wake up, wake up, wake up. It's a nightmare. What you're doing is not right. You ever having one of those nightmares and you're screaming and someone has to run and wake you up and say, wake up, wake up, wake up. Because you go into the invisible world and you're being attacked by one of them. Know this truth that this is happening to you. When you go in a sleep, you go inside of another sleep, inside of a dream. And when you are there, you are in the invisible world and you are having another dream. because it is the mind now that goes back into sleep while it is inside of a dream. So you're inside of a dream. When you're in the dream, you go to sleep inside the dream. Are you following? This is what is happening. And so when you come awake inside of the dream, which I am awake inside of the dream, so I see things as they are. And I am speaking about this. Many ones are saying, oh, I don't see good, I don't see evil, I don't see. I said, how can you not see evil? Why are you going to sit here, turn a blind eye to the evil that's happening? Because I say, this is the mind that's doing this. This is God's, the gods are doing this. They're telling me that they don't see evil. They're looking at everything as, yeah, but you have to talk about it. How else is it going to stop? The gods, they don't want you to talk about this. Your mind don't want you to talk about it. It's the ego doesn't want you to say this. When they had enslaved so many ones in the world, like right now, look what's going on in the world. But you see, people are talking now. People are standing up to the Zionist movement, right? People are now saying enough is enough, what you have done for how many years. If you sit there and say nothing, this continue to go on and go on, because they say, oh, it's not affecting me. But many ones know this truth because they have struggled with this, with these gods, because many ones came and program you into it. Give your soul to God. Give your soul to God. How many of them there are? Give your soul to God. God is going to give you all the riches that you want. God is going to give you all these things that you want. And so this is what is happening. You must speak this truth. You must ask questions. When the slave master is God, you must ask, what is God? Because God cannot be the real. God is the dream, and has been entrancing us inside of this dream for eons. We have been entranced inside of a dream, and every time that we question things, they come to reprogram our mind. Know this: in the night, they reprogram your mind. In the full moon, they reprogram your mind back into the dream to entrance you. When you're trying to figure something out, they come and they confuse you. So why shouldn't we talk about this injustice that has been done against these duality creatures? All is myself and I alone exist. So I take responsibility, and this is why I'm talking against these duality beings known in the world as the gods, the angels, the archangels, the aliens, the devils, the satans. It just show you the mental state that they are. The mental state that their mind is at, depending on the evil that they are doing. Because there are many of the gods who don't do many of the things that some of the other gods do. Because their self is one of the pure self, their feminine self, who they get to learn a few things from. So they're not as horrible as some of the ones them in complete darkness, and whose mind is so messed up. They have mental sickness just like any human beings who their mind don't work for them, and you see them mad and crazy. This is the same state the gods are in. They are you. The gods is myself, not wearing a body. Not because I am in this body, and myself that is not wearing a body, I'm gonna say myself is that's not me. So I want to give you an example of this. When I came into this realization that all is myself, I could not accept. I said, how can this be the real? That these gods are myself? They're tormenting me, torturing me, don't want me to speak the truth. And I saw when Shiva came to me, because Shiva is Horus and Shiva is my masculine self. And when they came and the world started changing because the duality is getting ready to be dissolved, they were terrified because they did not know what was happening. And Shiva Shambho was turning their light back onto them, and he just grabbed them because he's a bigger being over them, and he just grabbed them because the small ones, them, they are like us. and they other Shiva Shambho is a giant over them, and he just grabs them because Shiva Shambho is Osiris, and he's the one with the destiny to dissolve them. So a sun came, and they're supposed to go inside of the sun, and it's they're pulling the ego off of them so that their light can be restored, so that the self of them know that they are dreaming, and it's their mind that's making them do this. And they were terrified, and I saw how Shiva was they're jumping up on him because Shiva has had his light on, and they know Shiva was keeping quiet. um I'm on a live video. Who is it? Huh? I just need to grab something. Oh, sure, you can come. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Shiva was being so gentle with them because the gods then were terrified. and and then I said, how can you be so nice to them after they have been torturing me? But Shiva was teaching me that they were, because he knows that they are himself. I did not know that they are myself because I saw them as an enemy to me. He was teaching me that they are myself. They are just in ignorance, and they don't know. You think the gods, they don't know a lot of things. This is why they have been doing all these ignorant things. They have been wanting to get your souls and keeping us in slavery, but because they have no light, and their light is being obscure behind them. Their light is being obscure behind them. They do not know. They see us, and they hate us because they say, how can they have light and we don't have light? And so this is the reason why they have campaigned for ages to enslave us. And this is why the soul has been in slavery. And they spread propaganda. They have the ones in the world wearing human bodies who are the agent for them, who recruit ones and say, give your soul to God. They rape you, they sodomize you. Homosexuality stems from the gods. They are all homosexuals. They come, they go into your butt, they go into my vagina, they do all these things. They are crazy. And I said, what is this crazy nonsense that they are doing? But I have to speak this truth because now I know they are myself that have no light. They are in ignorance. They are you. So Mahat is my other self. I am the feminine in this experience. At the shattered self, the masculine and feminine is separated. So as the soul self, you are exploring differently. So which means that your masculine is exploring. This is what this twin flames is about. It's not you going to find some lover, but is that your masculine and feminine self are exploring the world separately. So my masculine self was Shiva, which was separated from me. I was exploring separate. So when I came into this realization, and I learned that Shiva is my, because I never trusted in any gods. And when I learned that Shiva is my masculine self, and Shiva came, Shiva was merged onto me. Shiva is Horus, for anyone who don't know. Shiva is Horus. Shiva is Heru. There's the real one who came and came the messenger and leave the messages that he was infiltrated by the one who claimed that he's Jesus Christ. Is just an imposter who has stolen Shiva's identity. And so now the self tell me that Mahat is also myself. So Mahat was in the world. Everyone was calling on her, making rituals to Isis and doing all of these things. So when the self put me in a trance and say, I know she's gonna merge Mahat onto me, and Mahat started fighting me, and she says to Atana, how dare you have another daughter? Because she thought that she was the only asset Isis, Mahat, because and so she was merged back onto me. So she is no longer into the world doing those crazy things that she was doing, everyone making ritual and all these things to her. So if anyone show up as Isis, Mahat, Mary, all of those names is myself. I am in this body right now, speaking this truth about what is happening in the world. And if anyone show up to you and you call on any and anyone, know that it is an imposter. This is because I am here in this body right here to speak the truth and to show the way, just like Shiva did, and his identity was stolen. So I am here to tell you the truth that your soul is in slavery. And who is holding your soul in slavery? Your God is your devil in disguise. The one who you're calling to save your soul is the same one who has put you in agony and then come back to be your savior. I don't know if you know these stories of these prostitutes and their what do you call the pimps? You know how they will see a woman, they try to say they're rescuing them when they already plan out what they want to do. They create this scenario for you, put you in agony and suffering, and then come around and show up like they are rescuing you. This is what the gods them have been doing. So when you can say, "Oh God, give me this, God, give me that," and you're praying to God to give you things, and God say, "Okay, I'm gonna give you this, and you do this for me." God never gives you anything. So you don't see that? That is a supreme ego trait. Listen, go back over everything that God have said and listen to the traits. If that's not a supreme ego trait. God is the supreme ego narcissist. Listen to the traits of them. Just go back again and look and see if you think I am lying. And so this is what is happening. And so I am speaking this truth not because I want to go against any of these foolishness that's been happening, but it's because the time has come when I am tired of this suffering. I have been suffering for ages. I have been suffering, fighting these battles with the gods. They are the masculine, we are the feminine. They are fighting a battle against their own feminine self. You understand what I'm saying? And a big example of that is Amen and Atenra. Amen is her masculine. She is the feminine. And he has been fighting for ages against her, his own self. Set and Set is the masculine, Ra is the feminine. He's been fighting against his own self. All of the gods them, they do not know the feminine because they are all masculine, magnetic energy. They have no light. This is why the reason for the soul slavery. And all I am saying is that just ask questions. The age of ignorance and following gods is over, because the thing that gave God their power is your soul. So what about when you have it? How powerful will you be? It's time for justice now. I call for justice against all gods, all duality. And I say the time for it must end. Because why? It is my destiny to see things and say what I see and speak the truth so one can know this. This is the reason why I am doing this. Why does Jesus Christ need the I soul? Do you know who you are? Why do you not seek the truth of your existence from your real self? Don't ask God. Don't ask Jesus, because they can never solve the problem in the world. They only instigate war and confusion. For ages, many ones have been serving God and giving them their soul into slavery. When has they ever solved any problem in the world? They have never solved any problem in this world. They are the chaos. You are the solution to the world. Get your soul back from them and you will see what I am talking about. Who and what is my real self? You must ask this question. What is the source of my existence allowing me this world experience? Is this world a dream? I am telling you it's a dream. But did you ask yourself? Confirm with yourself and ask. Don't ask your mind. Don't ask God. Don't ask Jesus Christ. Don't ask Allah. Don't ask any of the deities. Don't ask Oshun. Don't ask Shango. Don't ask anyone. Don't ask the Pleiadians. Don't ask the galactic beings. They all are seeking your soul. Everyone is seeking your soul. Why? It is the most important thing in this dream. Why are they doing this? Ask yourself this question. Ask them why. Why do I need to give you my soul? You can stand up to them now because I have bear the harshest of trial with them. So believe me, the blow that they're going to give you will be soft. I know many of you have been struggling for years because many put a curse on you. But now you can rise up, call your soul back onto you, get back your power. They are your enemy. They seize you as an enemy. And the only reason the ones who are not seeing them as their enemy is because they are already willingly just giving. They're not putting up a fight against the oppression and slavery and being raped by the gods. They're just willingly allowing it. So you don't put up any resistance, so you won't know what I am talking about. But you put up a resistance against God and you see. Right away, your mind is going to be your first enemy. It has always been your enemy, entrancing you in the dream. So you want to ask, is this world a dream? From where does these thoughts arise? So let's ask these questions. Why does God make threats to fear him, to burn you in hell if you disobey him? And why is there a hell in the first place? And when you love God, you go to heaven. Otherwise, they put you in hell. You know what they do when you resist them? They swallow your self-called soul. That's what they do. I know what they do. They swallow it, and it's within them, and this becomes their source of light. Because God have no light. They are magnetic energy. So when they come in your body, they make you very cold, and they fuse a whole lot of magnetic energy to your body, and it's very painful. Very, very painful. This is how they torture you in the body. They torture you in the soul by beating up on your soul and swallowing it and imprison it inside of themselves. And the soul cannot escape. And they use it for their light. Know this truth. You want to know truth? I'm telling you what is happening to your soul. Your soul crying. Your soul is crying in agony, in pain. And I can no longer bear this suffering and this pain because all is myself and I am the one feeling all of this suffering and pain. Do you not see the suffering in the world? It's because the souls are being enslaved. Get to the roots. Everything that's happening in the spiritual world manifests in the physical world. Right now, there's a battle for the liberation of all souls. Your soul is crying out to its high self, supreme, primal light. Come and rescue for eons. These gods swallow the souls, and the souls could not get out of their mouth. They had them swallows beating up the souls, imprisoning them, tyrannical rulership over the souls. For many, many, many times, these tears like bleeding coming out of these eyes, painful tears. And I say, Atenra, are you crying? She says, yes, I am crying. And I already know why she's crying. Because all of you in here, you are herself. You are her baby self. She's crying. She know the suffering. She have been working tirelessly to liberate herself, all the souls. She cannot do this work on her own. She needs you to take your part and do your share. Inquire within yourself. Call your soul back into this body with you. It's time now for you to do this. I have been holding the space for you, been enduring the suffering of all these gods, speaking this truth so that we can finally be liberated from a dream existence to go back into the real. Why you want to stay into this dream with this dream body and your dream things? Because the mind has programmed you into this. The gods have programmed you into this. If you don't have anything, they say you're not successful. I am the most successful one in this world right now. Because why? I have liberated myself from the dream. There are many ones like me inside of this dream who are awakened, but they are scattered all over the world. But they are not given the destiny that I have been given to speak this truth, because they cannot speak this truth either. But soon they will, because what I am making the foundation for all the I and I self to speak this truth. Because once the I self supreme merge and unified with all of these dualities, then you only have to deal with your mind. You don't have them to deal it, to worry so much. They can project things to you through the mind. So you have to be vigilant against your mind. It is time now to be vigilant against your own mind. Your mind is your problem. So I'm saying, your soul is in agony. You don't know it, I know it, and I am telling you. And many ones who are into witchery and all of those things, they know this truth. They know that the souls are being enslaved by the gods. But they themselves are a slave to all of those gods and deities that they serve. They have been holding their soul also in prison. So they think that they are only enslaving you when they get you to give your soul to these gods. But the gods have their soul enslaved also. The God is just not torturing them because they are a willing participant. But now the I Self Supreme is calling all of these duality and is pulling the ego off of them so that they can wake up from this and stop creating this terrible nightmare that they have been creating for us. Why would you blindly follow a God who, if you don't give him your soul, he curses you, he torture you and ban you from his elite club called heaven? Don't you see that this is a narcissist? Look at all of the traits of the gods. You see that they are narcissists. They are the supreme ego characters who program you into seeking heaven. You know what heaven is? Heaven is when you leave out of the body and this body can no longer sustain you. Everyone goes into the underworld, which is the invisible world. It's below the earth. When you go down there, this is where you exist when you're not in a body. When you're in a body, you ear up into this visible world we call the earth. When you are not in a body, like when you go to sleep, you're not in the body. You get out of the body and you go down there into the invisible world below the earth. When you have completely forgo the body and the body is no longer good to be used, it goes back into the earth, or you get burned by cremation or something, the body is no longer good. So you go back down into the invisible world below the earth. So when you're down there, the gods, it's separated, just like up here is an elitist. So if you are for Jesus Christ, you come here. If you're for Allah, you go there. So this is how it is, the same way it is here, down in the invisible world, very elitist. So you go with the God that you serve, and the ones them who would do with the really messed up mind and who are the devil worshiping and all those things, they go to sect and thought, because they are devil and Satan, and they become the demons that torture ones. So this is how it is. Okay, if your mind is really messed up, you go to this side of the underworld where set and thought reign supreme. And because know that the one that is called Jesus Christ is Anubis, and he is the one that rules the underworld because his feminine self is Amun Ra, and Amun Ra, she is the underworld. Yeah, just like Geb is the earth, the underworld, the invisible world. We are into the body of Amun Ra, and she is the feminine to Anubis, which is Jesus Christ. Know that that Jesus Christ is not the same messenger that came thousands of years ago, who liberated himself and was persecuted. This is not the same. This is the one that impersonated him, stole his identity, and trick everyone into giving them their soul. That's the trickster. Know this truth. So that's why I'm saying to you that many ones are calling, because I see them in social media calling on ISIS, calling on Mahat, calling on Aset, calling on Mary. And I said, here I am, you have called, I am here. I am telling you the truth of what it is and what you need to do to know the truth. But they don't want that. They want some dream characters. They want some delusional mind beings to come to them. They don't want to hear the truth and to know that it is in your hand. The baton is in your hand to do what you need to do, because you have the power. You are the most powerful thing in this dream. Your self soul is. Take it back from them and you see the power that you possess. And then when I am telling them this, they don't want to do this. They want, oh, Jesus is going to save me from my sin. What sins? The same sin that Jesus made you commit. He's going to save you from it. I was born a sinner. Born a sinner where? Who programmed you into seeking heaven? All of these gods, because they are mind being. The mind is against you. So this is why they can program your mind. Your mind has been programming you since you come into this existence. And come into anybody, your mind has been programming you, telling you you're not good enough. You don't have any power. You are nothing. Your mind has been programming you from very young. The mind is programming you. So I want to ask you this question. Who program and control your mind? I want you to seek your truth. Ask, who am I? How did I come into being? What is the source of my existence, allowing me this world experience? I want you to ask these questions because it is very simple, these questions. But you don't know, you're following blindly. The questions are simple because this is what I did. This is how I came to my truth. I said, this stuff don't make sense to me. I said, if I am working on myself, I am not jealous. Why is God jealous? I say, this trait that God has, I don't understand it because I don't have these traits. And this was when I was very young. I grew up as cultivated as a human being into the island called Jamaica. And when growing up there, and I was being schooled into Jesus. And yes, I was a Jesus lover when I was growing up, because they tell you all these things. The Bible, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And I'm in the church every Sunday. They dress you up and you have to go to church. And I said, this doesn't make sense to me. And I'm questioning the pastor. And I said, Pastor, but why is God jealous? Why is God doing and saying these things? And the pastor, they give you things to pacify you. And I said, that does not make sense. So from a very young growing up in Jamaica, And they said to me when I was young, they said, "You're a Rasta, you know, you're a Rasta, you know, we know you're a Rasta." So they wanted now for me to go into the Rastafarianism. And I said, "No, I am not a Rasta. I am still seeking who I am." So everyone was saying, "Are you a Rasta? You're a Rasta, you're a Rasta." So I said, "No, I am not a Rasta," because they also believe in very close to similar things. And so when I came to the United States, I was still seeking. Then I found the Nation of Islam and I bought some of their books. And I am reading and I said, "But it's the same story, the same thing. They don't know either." I read up Jewish things, the same thing. I said, "They don't know either. It's the same stories." And so it was when I went to the library, because I love to read, and I got a book on Buddha. It was a children book. And it says that he wanted to know why was he here? Why was this existence about? He started inquiring within himself, because I was doing these things, asking questions, but I was looking for a teacher outside of myself. I said, "Who is here? Who knows? Who knows?" And I was trying to find someone who knows. And then I said, "Okay, I am going to follow what Buddha did." He sat down and he said, "I will not rise until an answer come to me." And so I said the same thing. But of course, I was moving around. I had, that those which came as my children, and they were young, and everyone said, "Oh, she's going crazy." But I said, "No, I will not give up." So I wrote it out everywhere on the walls, everywhere I go. Who am I? How did I come into being? Why is this world like this? Why can there never be peace? Why? And everyone said, "Why are you thinking so deeply?" And I said, "But why aren't you thinking so deeply? This world does not make sense to me." And then I started saying, "I do not want to return back into this world. I don't like this world. What is the point of it? You come, you eat, you do this, you die, you come." It just, this ritual just did not make sense. And then I was feeling a lot of suffering and pain. These tears was coming from my eyes. These very traumatic tears, like burning. And I said, "My soul is crying." And I said, "What do you mean your soul is crying?" I did not understand it. I thought my soul, I didn't even know what a soul was. And I said, "What is a soul?" So I will, if you check out my music, you will see this, the struggle that I was going through the songs, because I was calling for my soul to come back to me and to tell me what it was and where it is, so that I can find it. I was desperate. So if anyone had known me in those times, I was desperate. Everybody say I'm going crazy. And so I just decided I was going to leave back the United States and I was going to return back to Jamaica, because I had to get some time from these. I would be on the ground in suffering. And I said, I have to leave. And I went back to Jamaica so that I could get some time to just figure out what the truth is. And all I'm saying is that the time is now for you to figure this out. You can do this, because the biggest battle, I have already fought this battle against Set and thought, because they are the devil and they are Satan. And the battle with Set and I has begun from the beginning of time. And so right now, Set is merged with Ra, and thought is the baby self of Allah, which is Tehudi. So Jesus Christ, Tahudi, Allah, and Set, they are Set self. Just like how Aset and Mahat and Hathar, they are one self. And Mahat is now merged with me as one self. So is Shiva, and so is Ptah. They are with me in this body right now. So it's the same thing with Ra, she's feminine. Set, the devil, is her masculine. Then you have Saturn and Allah. Saturn is the feminine, and Allah is, and Saturn is the one that plays the Holy Ghost, that go into ones when they say, "Oh, I want the Holy Spirit," and speaking in tongues, and she goes into their body and and do these things, and she let them speak in tongues, and so they are playing these roles in the duality, and so Allah and Saturn is a feminine, and Allah is our masculine, and that is Ra's self, and then the next self of Ra is, hold on, sometimes I forget them. Anubis. Um, Anubis is and its feminine is Amun Ra, and so they are now merged back, in with Set, and all of the other ones are merged back with Ra. So the same thing with you has to happen. You have a masculine and you have a feminine, right? Which is what we call the soul in the world, and all of them belongs to you. So you have to eventually merge with your masculine self, just like that happened here, and you have a baby self that you are exploring the world as now, and so you have to merge with your soul. Call your soul back onto you, liberate it from slavery, so that you can be unified as oneself, so that you can take your power back. This is what you have to do. And so I am just here to encourage the I to do this, because this is the greatest deception that the mind is, and all the gods, they have been deceiving us and holding us into slavery and under tyrannical rulership for ages. And I want you to understand that, because this mind is fighting against me, sometimes I don't it's constantly wiping things out and of this memory, and sometimes I having trouble finding the words I want to use, because the mind does not want to work for me. So why many are seeking God, seeking Jesus, and they're telling you that you have to be speaking in tongues. And if you don't speak in tongues, you're not a born again Christian, and all these things. All this fallacy. And everybody want to fit into the Jesus club, want to fit into the speaking in tongues club, because, like I said, it's Saturn. Because pay attention to science also. What's happening? The ones who are observing the universe, observing this duality, listen to what they are saying that is happening. If you think I am saying something untrue, I am telling you to inquire within yourself, within your soul self. I am also saying to see what they are observing in their microscopes, what is happening. Because when they are saying that the black hole is sucking up and so many stars are disappearing, this is exactly what I'm saying. They're only saying it in those terms when I say the self is merging with them and dissolving them. So this is why they're disappearing, because they were dream characters. So they are now merging back into the self, and they are no longer in those existence. Only the real self is there now. So a lot of this is going to happen. So watch what the scientists are observing, our cosmology. They're observing about the physical universe, the physical existence. And you will have a better understanding based on what yourself is saying and what you are observing. So, do you know who you are? Do you know that God is you in the supreme ego form? Remember what I said? You are exploring the world also, masculine and feminine. Your masculine self is separated from you. So one of those gods could be you, but you don't know that. And I also say that don't go searching for yourself that is in ignorance. Only your soul you must seek. Seek your soul to return back into the body with you. Because if you do not have light and you are trying to go seek something into this dream, every aspect of it is a dream. You are only going to get lost. You cannot help any of yourselves who's in darkness because you have no light to give them. Someone is imprisoned your light and you don't have it. You must have your soul back with you. Restore balance. Be unified as one self. Like I tell you, that yourself must be unified in this body with you. The spirit and the soul unified as one. You must return to being just that self, the soul self. So this spirit self must merge back into the soul and must no longer have no existence. This is what must happen, and you must be your soul. So instead of you having a soul, you are being yourself, the soul. When this happened, your soul self, you the soul self, knows where your other aspect of yourself is. So you don't need to go search for it. Your soul as light and know where its other aspect of itself is. And the teacher within you, the teacher within will do all the merging, because it is the destiny of the teacher within. You cannot do it. It's not your role. It's not your destiny. Your role is to run your distance right now. Dissolve this ego false self that you exist as. Call your soul back onto you and be yourself. For that which I seek, I am already that. I am that I am. Know this. I am that I am. For that which I seek, I am already that. You have always been the self. You have always been the real. But you have given yourself out in slavery. I am that I am. For that which I seek, I am already that. Now, how can that be possible? And you did not know that. You're seeking something. You're seeking for God. You're seeking for Jesus. You're seeking for Allah. You're seeking for heaven. You're seeking for some dream existence. When you are already what you need to be, you are yourself. You are the real. You are the self supreme already. Just get your soul back and be yourself and dissolve this ego false self. You're in the ego false self as the spirit right now. Call your soul back into you and dissolve this ego false self, and you will see what I am saying. This is my message. This was the same message that Shiva came and delivered before Jesus Christ stole his identity and tell you to give him your soul. Who said that you are not enough? Who said that? The one who has enslaved you, the one who has imprisoned you and is ruling with tyranny over you, say to you, you are not enough. You are no one. You are nobody. Who are you? You're a sinner that needs to be saved by God. You are born a sinner. You're evil. Who is telling you this? Who has been programming you? No, I am telling you that I am that I am. For that which I seek, I am already that. I'm telling that you have always been who you are, the self-supreme. You just did not know it because someone had enslaved yourself and has programmed your mind. You didn't have no confidence in yourself. So I'm saying that you need to say, I am confident. I believe in myself. I am in command. I am in command. Take back your power. But believe me, I had to do this. For weeks, I was chanting, I am in command. I've been there and I've already done that. I know who I am. I believe in myself. No, this is me. This is I who had to do this because I didn't believe in myself. Because this is what these dualities, these gods, they come on you when they see you're about to wake up. They come with some foolishness and they're going to say to you, oh, don't listen to Asen. Don't listen to her. But all I am saying to you, tell me if I'm giving you wrong information. I say that you are the self-supreme. You are the most important thing in this dream. Yourself, the soul. And I say, call your soul back into you and dissolve this ego, false self that you have been existing as. Jesus enslaved yourself, so therefore Jesus controls your mind. If it's Allah, any one of them, if it's Ogun, if it's Shango, if any one of them that you call on, if it's Enki, if any one of them that you call on, and they are your God, they have enslaved your soul. So you need to get your soul, denounce all ties to all gods and all deities to this dream existence. I denounce all ties. Any contract that I have written with you, I dissolve it. I null all contracts. I have no mother, no father, no sister, no brother, no God, no deity, no teacher, no guru. All is me. All is I. All is myself, and I alone exist. I alone exist. So if you alone exist and you are all, who are all of these characters, that you playing all of those characters, so you don't need to worship and bow down to those dream characters and imprison yourself to them. You have to see all as yourself. That is you in ignorance. Liberate yourself to liberate your ignorant self. Many want riches on earth and in heaven, and they listen to the fallacy of this. God is going to tell you that when you give him your soul, when you come to heaven, you're surrounded by riches. But here on the earth, where you need some, who's giving you riches here? They say, okay, God, I want riches here on earth. God said, do this and do this for me. I will give you riches on this earth. And they will say, oh, God has been so good to me. God has been so good to me. But where is your soul? After God has been so good to you, where is your soul? You have put it in slavery to God just for some riches here. They are the seekers of dream things over the liberation of their soul. Many are in complete ignorance, false self-identification, and entranced in the dream. They are the dream characters and are blind with a veil of ignorance over their eyes. Just like you, all gods are sleeping and dreaming. Know this truth. The gods, they are supreme ego. If you want to know truth, do you want to liberate yourself? I am here to tell you how to do it, because why? I have been there and I have done that. There's nothing that I have not been there and I've already done. Because what? All is myself. All the gods do is to put the you in slavery and suffering. Then they come to your rescue so you can give them your trust and say, give me this. I know you wouldn't have it. I know you wouldn't have made it without God. Oh, I wouldn't have made it without God. Oh, look at all my riches. Look at all my car. Look at my prestige. That's the testament that you are given. Remember, when Buddha was sitting down in his meditation, the gods, they come to him and say, look, I will give you all of this. Buddha said, I want nothing of this world. I only want my truth. I want nothing. The same thing happened in the story of Shiva. Shiva left his message. Shiva Heru. All of the gods them came to tempt him. They say the devil. But know that all of the gods them are the devil. They're all gods. Right? And he says, no, there's nothing in this world that you can give me. This is a dream. When you awake, they're going to come tempt you with things. I want nothing into this dream existence. I want to liberate myself from this dream. I want to dissolve this dream. I want to wake up and end my dreaming. I am sleeping and my mind is dreaming. I want to end this dream. But no, everybody wants dream things. This dream, making the dream keep going and going and going. While some have something, the other one have nothing, because you don't see others as yourself. You pass once. You create pharmaceuticals, you create drugs, you create all these things in your laboratories, your home laboratories. the poison ones. You see many on the street strung out. Many ones don't have a place to live because they're charging you astronomical fee to live here into the belly of this being. You're in the belly of Geb. You're inside of the belly of yourself. In duality, sleeping and dreaming inside of a dream. How many levels of dream there are? You're inside the one who is dreaming, and then that is inside of another dream, and you're inside that one's belly, inside of a dream. And when you're in a dream, you go to sleep inside the dream, and all of the other selves who are bigger, they're inside, and everyone is inside of a dream, inside of another. There's so many levels of dream. You can't imagine how many levels of dream. We are entranced in this dream, and finally, the time has come for liberation from this dream. All the selves are in alignment to restore balance, to restore light to all of the ignorant I self. And this is one of the reasons why I say, instead of when one start doing something wrong, when you see children when they're young are doing some things that are not right, so know that when my mouth is getting like this, the dualities are trying to take over and making my tongue heavy and like this. So that's why I see my voice is changing. My tongue is getting like this right now. And you see them young, but this society don't provide a space where we are teaching one to cultivate their minds and to show them that their mind is the problem. If we can cultivate a space in every community where ones can go to get the techniques to still their mind, techniques to gain confidence in themselves, then you will have less of what we have in the world. But when someone does something at a very young age, there is nothing in the society for cultivating this mind. All they do is want to breed and cultivate ones who are the dream, immersed in the dream, who want only dream things, chasing dream things. So they don't care to cultivate the mind so that they can build a balanced human being. No, they don't care about that. They just want you to be chasing dream things. Oh, I have a dream. Oh, this has been my dream. Oh, this has been my dream. It's all a dream. You're inside of a dream. It's all a dream. But do you want the real? Do you want the real? Do you think does God care about your grief? Do you really think God care about your grief? God don't care about your grief. God is a supreme ego that don't have no care within itself. This is why everyone is saying, "Oh, we're here to learn love, to master love." That's the stuff for God. God can never love you back. Those jealous boyfriend, those egotistical boyfriend that you have, that you can love them, you can do stuff for them, and as soon as you don't do anything for them, how they brutalize you. This is the behavior of the gods. God don't care about you. So all I am saying, the time now, every time I am speaking, everything is being wiped out at the same time. So I just lose my train of thought of what I was saying. But anyways, just bear with me. I am on the battlefield. So why the I must denounce all gods, deities, ancestors, angels, archangels, aliens, devils, and satans, or whatever name they call themselves, whatever they identify as, because know that they are the same thing. These levels is an hierarchy of the archangels are the ones who have more awareness than the devils and the Satan. They have more awareness. Their mind is not so corrupted, but they are still sleeping and dreaming just like the others. The ancestors are just like the gods them. They are just the gods them deceiving you, saying that like when you have one of that which came as your parent, Once they leave this body, they are no longer your parent. I want you to understand this. Stop going into graveyard, calling them, saying their ancestors, that person, that self that came as your family member wants to move on, and you're trying to hold them back to this illusion, going there, calling them, trapping them into when they want to be released. You're trapping them into the dream, and they cannot find a body to come back into the world in, because you are constantly trapping them. Years ago, I was working when I used to do iridology before I came into full realization of myself. And this is one of the reasons why I had stopped doing the iridology, because once I was looking into one's eyes, I was able to see everything that was going on into their life and all these things. And so there was this lady, I was doing an iridology reading with her. She had one ancestors, one of her family member that had passed on, and she had trapped the family member on her. This is how I learned these things. I learned everything I'm saying to you is by experience. I learned this by experience, by experiencing them. And so the being, the family member was saying to me, they want to be released, right? And I say to her, you have a family member that you have to release them, because they're doing, you see, many ones you see, you don't know that they're doing these things, they're doing voodoo, they're doing witchcraftry things, wizardry thingies in the night. They are busy doing these things. I did not know this were so many ones that was doing this. I travel around Mexico, the same thing. I go to Jamaica, the same thing. I mean, everywhere. This is every part of the world. Every part of the world. You do not know how many ones. Everyone is doing this. They're into this witchcraftry. Everyone is doing this. Like right now, it's running rampage. And so I said to her, you have a family member that you're entrapped with you, and they want to be released from you. And so I did not know that I had these powers. You know what I'm saying? And so I released her. I released I released the family member from her, and so this is how I know that when you are trapping them and you're not allowing them to move on to their journey so that they can evolve themselves. Stop doing this. You're doing something wrong. Don't trap them. Not because they came as your parent. When they leave you, they're no longer your parents. They have played a role. This is a movie. They have played their role, the character that they were playing. Now leave them alone and let them go evolve themselves. And so when you are calling on them, a lot of them either have been imprisoned by the gods. So who's showing up to you are the deities, the gods them. They are the ones who are showing up to you as your ancestors. And they are playing the role. They love to do this. They switch up their characters that they are playing. And you call on anyone. You go know and so you're calling on Isis. You're calling on Isis. One of them is going to show up. You're calling on Mahat. One of them is going to show up and answer you. So this is why I encourage you, don't call on anyone but your soul. Call your soul back into your body. This is the only real in here. All the gods, they are spreading false narrative. They promote propaganda. They are the illusionists and mind controllers. They are liars. They are deceivers, tricksters, rapists, and sodomists. They are the creators of war, slavery, rape, hate, sodomy, blood sacrifice, and suffering. Know this, that all the gods, they are creating this for you so that they can come to your rescue, so that you can trust them and say, God is my savior. God have done some great things for me. But know that is your soul that is fighting a battle with them to help you to come to truth. They are the reason for human sacrifices, because who are other humans sacrificing humans to gods. No, this is still going on. Why you think so many children are missing? Because they are using them as human sacrifice to gods, to the devils, to Satan. They are the reason for the dream illusionary existence. They are the impersonators of the real. So this is why I tell you there is nothing in this dream that you can trust, because they are going to impersonate whatever you are trying to call onto you. They cannot impersonate your soul. This is one thing they cannot impersonate, because it is you. They cannot impersonate it. You call your soul back into you and you unify and merge in it. Inquire within yourself for who you are. Let your soul speak to you. They cannot impersonate your soul. They have no light. They use your soul for their light. And your soul come and dwell right here in the center of your chest. Many of the gods will come, and when they imprison your soul and take into your body, they will also be here, into the center, imprisoning your soul. But denounce all ties. This is why you must denounce all ties. Because the gods, they all suffer from mental sickness and delusion. They are making up stories, and they are telling you all of these false things. They put you in hell, meaning that they are putting you in suffering. This is the hell that they do. They swallow your self soul and they beat upon you, the spirit. They enslave, they torture, and rule with tyranny over the soul and over the self. This is what the gods them do. So you must denounce ties to them. This is what is gonna break the contract with you and them. So know that the Spirit of God is the devil. Your God is your devil in disguise. God is a delusional, sick, crazy mind. You ask no self-questions. You are blind, following the blind. I want you to know that the root of all our problems stem from this duality consciousness. Everyone is wearing this duality consciousness as their mind, the ego. Therefore, everyone is not in their real self, but they are rather in the ego, false self. The mind is the greatest deception, and it is the root of all evil. It is the root of all evil thoughts that becomes their actions. For instance, we were not meant to be enslaved inside of our own dream for ages, thinking the dream is the real. This dream world should have been dissolved many eons ago. But here we are, still being held a prisoner under tyrannical rulership inside a dream fantasy world. Why? Why has this happened? I want you to start be asking questions. What is at the root of our problem? Many religions and spirituality are saying there's a messenger that's coming. Some is waiting for Jesus to come. Some is waiting for, because they misunderstood. But here I am. Shiva is my masculine self. I am Aset, its feminine self. I also came, when Shiva came, I also came as his mother. Many know as Mary, but that wasn't my name. I was Aset. But they changed up the story to give different characters, because this is what they do, to deceive you and to fool you, right? Many, when a messenger rises up and come awake, they are so immersed in their dream life, dream family, dream things, and their delusional ideology and philosophy, their religion and spirituality, that I refuse the same messenger they have been waiting for to lead the path to truth, because they refuse to self-inquire. A messenger that sees things as they are is one that has awakened from sleeping inside of this dream is one who has removed the ego false self to just be the I real self. But many one, do they want a messenger like that? They want a messenger that's saying, no, it is you. You have always been your real self. That which you are seeking, you have already been that. What you have been doing is enslaving yourself. You have been choosing the dream over the real. Do they want a messenger like that, pointing out what they're doing wrong and say, this is what you need to do? Be yourself. How easy is that to say? That has been the problem, that you have not been yourself. You know you have a soul. They told you you have a soul. They say, give me your soul. They did not tell you that your soul is your real self. Sorry. They did not tell you that your soul is your real self, because once you start questioning your soul and wanting to know the truth, you are dissolving this ego. Yeah? Because the teacher that you need rises from your soul to pull the ego off of you so you can finally awake from sleeping. So everything you need is yourself. So I say, denounce your dogmas, denounce your superstitions, your religions, your spirituality, and just self-inquire and come to self-realization. It is that simple. It is that simple. You know there is a force that you are unaware of. Why do you not ask, what is this force? You are quick to make false assumptions. You have been brainwashed and programmed into thinking it is God. Did you ask yourself intelligence? Did you ask your soul, what is the truth? Soul, tell me your side of the story. Ask your soul to tell you its side of the story. Say, soul, is this the truth? Is this the real? The soul is the only real inside of this dream. Ask yourself intelligence. You are asking the mind and all the supreme mind characters in the world. But you have not asked your soul, your self-intelligence. Ask your self-intelligence. Is this the truth? What I say, call your soul and ask your soul. Have you ever asked this force to identify itself? And one of the things that when God comes to you with their light, you want to ask, are you the primal light? Are you the light throughout the ages? Are you the light without beginning nor end? Because they come and trick you with their bright light. So you need to ask. Ask. Question anything that comes. Don't be afraid. I empower you. Be empowered because you are the self-supreme. You are the self-soul. This is the I self-supreme in this shattered, fragmented self as the soul. You are that which you seek. Have you ever self-inquired of your true self-identity? Have you ever? I say, renounce your dogmas, your superstitions, your religion and spirituality, and just self-inquire and come to self-realization. It is that simple. Who am I is the question. From where does these thoughts arise? What is the source of my existence allowing me this world experience? You want to ask for the source. Is God your source that is allowing you this world experience? No. God is yourself in a supreme ego form. Remember this. Every time that God wants to confuse you, you say, you are myself in a supreme ego form. You have no light. You are magnetic, while I am electromagnetic. I have my light and I am balanced. You are myself in supreme ego form. What is God? myself in a supreme ego form as a dream character inside of a dream, in trance, and do not know the real. Stand up to God, let God know, I know what you're doing. So these are some questions I will be answering. Not And so I want to show you the screen for the question that you need to ask. Who is throwing you into hellfire and why? And why is this fear tactics about? What is this about? The question that you need to ask yourself. What is the greatest questions that I am not asking? Because obviously this mind, this intellect is not intelligent enough to dissect this. So you have to go to your self-intelligence, and this is yourself called the soul. It will bring up to this mind the questions that you need to ask. Who am I? How did I come into being? Who or what is God? What is the source of my existence allowing me this world experience? Is this world a dream? Are we sleeping inside a dream? And how am I animating this body? And where is this world taking place? Are we inside the womb of another, like a fetus inside the womb of its mother? And why is my mind so ignorant? Why can't my mind figure out the real? And what is the root cause of humanity's problem? Who am I? Is the basic self-inquiry question. How do I exist in this body? Because you must by now come to this truth and this realization that you are not this body and you are not this mind. I am not this body. I am not this mind. But how do I exist in this body? Who is the I that is holding this body, animating this body? You inquire from yourself. What should I believe in? Because I am telling you, do not believe in God and do not believe in anything into this dream existence. So you'll say, what should I believe in? What should I serve? And I said that I should only believe in the I self. You need to start believing in yourself that you are enough. Everything that you need has already been with you. I am that I am. For that which I seek, I am already that. I need nothing else because I am already all that I need to be. I am enough. So know that this duality is going through my foot and doing all these things. But it will not deter me from speaking truth, liberating all the I and I selves who wants to know. The I should serve the I self destiny to dissolve that which the I have created. Because when you take command, you know that you are the creator creating all of this. It is your responsibility to dissolve anything that you have created. You don't need to give that to God. So God create this, God create that. No, you are doing the creation. You now take responsibility for what you have created and dissolve it. Wake yourself up from this dream. To dissolve that which the I have created and return to the I ultimate true state. Take command. The I should only seek refuge in the I self supreme primal light, the unmanifest. No longer should the I be seeking anything into this dream existence. Only your soul is everything that you need. Everything that you need is within the I self, the real self, called the soul. Everything that you need. The teacher is within there. The self soul is anchored into the void. Everything that you need is within yourself. You have come equipped for this dream existence. The only thing that you have been deceived and yourself have been imprisoned. It's liberation time now. It's time to anchor back into yourself and be yourself. I want to thank you tremendously for your time. I am one with all. Beware that the mind will want to resist, protest, and convince you of all the reason not to do something. Know that you are in command. Reinforce to the mind this affirmation. Mind, be still. Be still. Be still. Mind, be still and know that I am in command. I am in command. I am in command of the commandment. Command. Mind, be still. I awake from sleeping. I dissolve this dream. I am stillness. I am that I am. I am formless, timeless, limitless, boundless. I am stabilized in the unmanifest. I am the self-supreme, primal light. I am one with all. All is myself, and I alone exist. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I bow to I and I in self, in light, and in truth. I am primal light, prepared for this world, taking form and identity as Aset, Aten Ra. I am the shattered, fragmented self wearing this body. Thank you so much for joining I. Know that you can reach out to me, and I'm here to answer any questions. And I also will post in my next video. I will post an affirmation for denouncing. I will do that later tonight. I will do a video of me doing the affirmation for denouncing all ties to this world. Thank you.
Self-illuminate, all souls are free, all souls are free. How to let your light glow. Seek the source of your existence. See what aspect of you is hidden. All that you seek is within. Light, ecstasy, and bliss. Holding to desires, attachment to things. Only cause sin and suffering. All the souls you're violating. All that you seek comes from within. Who has taken false identity? What aspect of you stay hidden? Do you know the source of your existence? Do you know the source of your existence? Do you know the way to be? How did you become this way? How did you become the way you are? You yourself are intelligence by far. You yourself are intelligence by far. Light still is on the path. No soul will be lost. Truth be told, free all the soul. Truth be told, free all the soul. Not one soul will be lost. Not one soul will be lost. Each and every soul will get a chance. End soul slavery. End soul slavery. End soul slavery. The time has come. All souls must be free. All souls must be free. Time to change my destiny. Limitless, liberated, I am free. Suffering me. Self-aloneness by all souls are free. Formless being, liberated, I am free. Suffering me. Self-illuminous me. All souls are free. All souls are free, timeless, limitless, boundless. All souls are free. All souls free. End soul slavery. End the time of slavery. End soul slavery. All souls must be free. All souls are free. I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible for my thoughts and my actions. The doer takes the consequences of his action, yeah. I am responsible. I am responsible. Think righteous thoughts, ultimately to be without thoughts. To do righteous action, ultimately to be still. True self being attention, awake, alert, and aware. Awake, alert, and aware. I am perfect bliss. I am light. I am self-luminous. I am supreme self. I am pure, luminous consciousness. I am always and forever. Always and forever. Like stealing on the path, no soul will be lost. Truth be told, free all the souls, not one soul will be lost. Not one soul will be lost. Each and every soul will get a chance. Each and every soul will get a chance. All souls are free. 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 Luminous be. All souls are free. Formless, timeless, boundless, limitless be. All souls are free. Liberated, sovereign be. All souls are free. All souls are free. Boundless, timeless, formless, limitless be. All souls are free. All souls are free. Self-illuminous be. All souls are free. Formless, timeless, limitless be. All souls are free. All souls are free.